by Tom Dinsdale Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, located at 2800 Osborne Drive East in Hastings. Now
And a very pleasant good afternoon after a long, cold, miserable winter. The sun is shining brightly on a beautiful day on the diamond. Today we open up the Great Plains Athletic Conference season as the Hastings College Broncos square off with the Briarcliff Chargers. Hello again, friends. Tyson Veronik with you alongside Marcus Metcalf, getting you set for GPAC softball action right here on Extreme Sports. It feels a lot like opening day here at the Bill Smith Softball Complex, and even though the season is already 18 games in, it might as well be. Today, everybody starts with a clean slate as conference play gets underway, and conference standings is the new goal. It's also has that opening day feel because for the first time this season, the Broncos have played at home, starting off the season south with stops in Wichita, Branson, just about everywhere in between. The Broncos have returned home ready to get this new season, the conference season, underway. For Hastings College, this lineup, this team, this program hit the reset button last offseason. Not happy with how the season came to a close, the Broncos bring in 25 new players to the roster, some of whom have made an immediate impact on the program. 2025 preseason polls pointed a picture of doom, gloom, and misery for the Broncos, but their non-conference results did the opposite. Highlighted by an 8-game winning streak, the Broncos will try to return to form here this afternoon with their matchup against the Briarcliff Chargers. Coming up here on In the Dugout, we will spend a few good minutes with the head coach of the Hastings College Broncos, Troy Baker, as our Broncos softball coverage continues here on Extreme Sports.
There's a noticeable difference when you walk into Tom Dinsdale CDJR in Hastings. You can't miss the exceptional customer service that we're known for, or the huge emphasis we place on providing unsurpassed vehicle service with experienced technicians and quality parts. And of course, we think big when it comes to giving back to the community that has supported us for so many years. At Tom Dinsdale, we take tremendous pride in serving our friends, family, and neighbors throughout central Nebraska. See for yourself. Stop by Dinsdale CDJR today.
Our coverage of Hastings College softball continues here on Extreme Sports as we sit down and spend a few good minutes in the dugout with Troy Baker, head coach here at the Hastings College Broncos, as we get set to open up GPAC play here, the home opener for the Hastings College Broncos in the Great Plains Athletic Conference. We're anxious. We're looking forward to kicking off the Great Plains Athletic Conference season, a month of non-conference for you guys down south over in Kansas, over in Branson, Missouri. Highlights include an 8-game winning streak that you were able to put together. Let's talk a little bit about this softball team. I say early impressions, but we're 18 games in here. What have you seen from the team in non-con?
I would say that we've played some pretty good teams first, especially in Branson this last weekend. I think this team's different than, you look at our records the last few years. Not pretty. If you go look, and I think our strength as a team has been our hitting. Don't look at Branson again, but the kids that I brought in, there was 25 new players that I brought in. I was not happy with how the season ended last year, so I just said, let's just clean it up and see what happens. Brought in a bunch of different transfers, JUCO kids, freshmen. And it's worked, knock on wood, so far. Our middle order, I think, and I'm not putting anybody down, is as good as anybody in our conference. And that includes the Northwesterns of the world. We're going to find that out in a few days, but they've been good. And hopefully, we can continue that into the conference play.
I was talking with Coach Williams, I think it was after the Wichita weekend series, and we dropped a couple games there, but he said that, it wasn't a matter of, poor play or anything like that. It was timely hitting. Has timely hitting kind of been a bit of focus and getting those clutch hits in run scoring opportunities?
Yeah, I told, coaches that wanted to listen to me, which is not a lot, that our 2 through 7 is dangerous. And it has. If you look at our 2 through 7, I'm just guesstimating here. We're hitting around 340, 350 with those ladies in the middle. You look through the RBIs like Lauren Schneider's a 2-hitter, and she's in double figures. We got a couple kids that are almost getting 20 RBIs already. It is. It's a dangerous lineup. And, when we do struggle, like we played Our Lady of the Lakes, who is a defending national champions. I think they're ranked 9th right now. We had the bases loaded in the first inning. And we were in a spot with 5 and 6. We had a strikeout and a pop-up. And, games earlier, we were getting RBIs, even the worst case scenario, a sac fly. Against the big dogs, you gotta execute. And in that game, we did not. We had runners on, and it's not like that she struck out everybody. We had at least 1 or 2 runners on every inning, and just couldn't get that key hits. And that is what is going to be moving forward a big success, or it's going to be a failure for us to succeed.
Talk a little bit about just the team chemistry, because that's a different component that can often lead to some success on the diamond. And I look up and down this lineup, and even with the coaching staff, and I just think, man, this has got to be a fun bunch to be around.
It is. So, bringing in Coach Theo Harris even said, how do you want me to bring 25 players in to buy the culture? Because that's a big thing, and you hear that on every level: football, basketball, baseball, softball, whatever. How the culture is strong. The culture's been pretty good. I'm never going to say it's awesome, because I don't know if there is such a thing, because everybody wants to play. You can't make 30-some players happy. It's hard enough to make 5 players happy in any level. They've bought in. Bringing in like a Lauren Lee, who comes from a JUCO in Colorado, Anna Medeiros, who is from Hawaii, who came from a JUCO. They bought in right away. And when you see new players come in, the old players want it. Like our seniors have been dying to play at a high level, and they've got players that can help them. Like Lexi Mudloff was our 3 or 4 hitter. She's hitting 6 this year. It's just, it takes pressure off her, saying, oh my God, these guys are helping us. It's made the dynamic better. Again, it's a new season starting this weekend. It doesn't matter if we were 18-0 or 0-18. We're 0-0 right now. And our goal is to win the conference title. And again, everybody's saying, well, geez, you guys were 4-16 or 18, whatever the heck we were last year in conference play. We're going to surprise some teams. And again, Tyson, what's weird is we saw 2 number 1s
turn around, and then you get a doubleheader going up against Briar Cliff, a team coming in 5-9 on this season, and haven't probably had as much opportunity in the non-conference to get games in, and talk about this Briar Cliff team and what sort of advantages you feel your team might have there.
So Briar Cliff, we ended the season last year. That was our senior day, and I remember our seniors just carried us on that day, hit a couple home runs, and both games were close. Again, haven't got to see them in action live. I've seen some of the same common opponents that we played. It'll be good. It's good for us to see teams that I think, again, you take Northwestern out of the equation, a lot of teams are going to be jockeying for positions 2 through bottom. It's just that way. And we're just hoping that, whatever happens when we play Northwestern, are we going to have to do better? We are going to be so hyped against Northwestern. What's that going to mean the next day? And with Briar Cliff, again, every game, I'm going to tell them that when we have practice, is game 1 is just as important as game 20 in conference. Unless you go to the last game and you better win those to get in the conference tournament. Every game is the same level. Yeah, some games are rival games. Some games like Northwestern, who's ranked 4th in the nation. It means more to me more than, hey, every game's the same. So to try to keep them at an even keel will be a big key for moving forward.
Good luck here this weekend. We can't wait to see you out on the diamond, and we'll talk shop when it's all over.
And hey, thank you. We're so excited for having some coverage with this. This is new to us, and I don't know how the girls are going to react to that. Actually having we got some media here. This is awesome. But we're excited. But thank you very much.
There's a noticeable difference when you walk into Tom Dinsdale CDJR in Hastings. You can't miss the exceptional customer service that we're known for, or the huge emphasis we place on providing unsurpassed vehicle service with experienced technicians and quality parts. And of course, we think big when it comes to giving back to the community that has supported us for so many years. At Tom Dinsdale, we take tremendous pride in serving our friends, family, and neighbors throughout central Nebraska. See for yourself. Stop by Dinsdale CDJR today.
Welcome back to Extreme Sports.
And welcome back to some Hastings College softball, the GPAC season opener here on Extreme Sports. Tyson Nevronic, Marcus Metcalf alongside here for the ride. And Marcus, as we were talking on our In the Dugout pregame show, this has got the opening day feels to it here as we get set to open on a beautiful day here at the Bill Smith Softball Complex.
Oh, absolutely. You couldn't ask for a better March day. It could be 45 degrees of snow on the ground and we're playing softball, but beautiful 75-degree day, and you couldn't ask for that for beginning of GPAC season here. And so I'm sure these ladies are ready to go after been on a long bus rides for the last few weeks. You know, I'm sure they're glad to be back home and be able to sleep in their own bed and everything like that. So hopefully these Broncos can come out with a 2-0 sweep today.
At last check, 73 degrees and winds coming out of the south at about 17 miles per hour. That puts us here at Field 1 at the Bill Smith Softball Complex with winds blowing in. And whether it's GPAC softball, Hastings College softball, or the state softball tournament, Marcus, when the winds are blowing in or blowing out, this field can play completely differently. And right now, yes, the fences are at 200, but they're going to be playing a lot longer there for the hitters today.
Yeah, a typical ball that probably go 275 feet. If they get a hold of one, it'd be lucky if they can get, unless they can get it really, really low and have enough power behind it. Otherwise, this wind's going to keep the ball in today, and so it's probably going to be more of a pitcher's duel today, I would think. And so, but we're going to find out here pretty shortly.
We'll talk about and get your starting lineups coming up here in just a minute as the action gets set to get underway. Hastings College, Briar Cliff. Hastings College coming in with a 10-8 record are the Broncos. The Briar Cliff Chargers with a record of 5-9 in the circle. Warming up as we see Kiera Brack doing the starting pitching duties here this afternoon. The number one overall starter, 6-3 here for the Broncos, a 3.44 ERA. Comes in with 31 strikeouts, and the book on her, Marcus, is she loves to pound that strike zone. She's all around it, and in fact, Coach Baker telling me if there was one issue with her, it's maybe throwing a little too many strikes sometimes, and she is a good hard strike thrower here for the Broncos to lead things off this afternoon.
Oh, absolutely, but she's got to do what she got to do. She got to pound the zone, get strikes, and get some ground outs and get herself out of innings, and don't prevent many free batters there for Briar Cliff. And so we're going to find out and see if she can put up a lot of strikes out there today.
So here we go, getting set for the first pitch here this afternoon. The GPAC season getting set to get underway here from the Bill Smith Softball Complex in Hastings as Brack looks into the leadoff hitter here for Briar Cliff. That's Jessica James at shortstop here this afternoon for the Chargers, and takes a look at the first pitch that goes inside there for 1-0 count. Brack looks in, throws that one low and in the dirt, and it's a 2-0 start here for Kiera Brack. James ahead in the count. Looks at that one, and that's in there. Two, one. Ball hit right up the middle, goes on to center field, and James is going to have a leadoff single here to start off the proceedings for the Chargers. So James aboard with a leadoff single as that one goes straight through the middle. And the shortstop's aboard here for the Chargers. That'll bring up Cadence Kinder, the third baseman, as the Broncos play in on the infield, on the corners. Kinder squares around to bunt, lays this one down the first base side, spun around, throws, Mudloff over to cover. And it's one out, and they're going to take an extra bag there and fire down to third, and they are going to get James, it appears, at the third base bag. The double play there for the Broncos, a little heads-up play. James was trying to nab an extra base there, and the good hard throw over across the diamond from Mudloff. into Pinero, gets the out, and that's a double play. A great way, just trying to sacrifice bunt there. Turns into a 3-5 double play. Rolled up the middle, and that one's right to the glove of Mudloff on a line drive. Snags it for the out. It's a line out to 4 to end things here in the first. So after getting the leadoff hitter aboard, a double play ends the Briar Cliff rally. And we stand at no runs apiece as we get set for the bottom of the first, the Hastings first, coming up here on Extreme Sports.
Bullseye Sports Bar and Grill has been serving Hastings and the surrounding area for more than 25 years, becoming more than just another bar and grill. It's a Hastings institution. Don't miss Wing Night every Wednesday, featuring legendary wings that are crispy, saucy, and downright delicious. Stop back on Thursday for broasted chicken. Fridays, enjoy the prime rib and seafood buffet. Then savor Bullseye's world-famous prime rib on Saturday. On Sundays, indulge in the brunch buffet from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. For over a quarter century, Bullseye's has been the go-to spot for good times, great food, and unforgettable memories. Visit Bullseye Sports Bar and Grill on West 2nd and Hastings, right across the street from the water park.
You're locked in to Extreme Sports.
Olivares now hits a line drive to deep left field. Ward is back to the wall. Granny time!
Here's Doncic wheeling inside in traffic and got it to go.
The home of 24/7 sports talk. Nothing but pure sports action.
All right, pure sports action, and today that action is some college softball here in the Great Plains Athletic Conference. A scoreless first for the Briarcliff Chargers after getting the leadoff hitter aboard via a single. A double play on a would-be sacrifice bunt. James trying to snag the extra bag, gets thrown out at third, and that gets the Broncos out of a would-be jam. So the 10-8 Broncos now coming for their first plate appearance here at home on the 2025 season. Isabel Tanabe will lead things off, the shortstop with a .383 batting average. Gets set to go as they will work against Georgia Crone, getting the starting pitching nod here for Briarcliff. And Crone's first pitch is in there for a ball, a 1-0 count here to Isabel. 1-0. Just off the outside, that'll be a 2-0 count now. Lauren Schneider sitting in the 2-hole here for HC will bat second. Haley Pineo will bat third. As this ball is hit over to the shortstop and it's bobbled there, it's going to be an error on the shortstop that'll put Tanabe aboard. And Tanabe at first base here as the Broncos are in business to start off this afternoon. Lauren Schneider again batting second. Haley Pinero batting third. It'll be Lauren Lee in the cleanup spot. We'll see Anna Medeiros batting fifth, playing catcher this afternoon. Lexi Mudloff, the second baseman, Grand Island Central Catholic product, will hit sixth. And we'll get to the bottom of the order here after this next play. It's a toss down to second, but not in time and a little wide. So Isabel Tanabe is going to have a stolen base after getting aboard via the E6. Caitlin Kapler batting seventh. Shay Storsund batting eighth. And Nicole Halsey batting ninth in the designated position spot here for the Broncos this afternoon. A 1-0 pitch just off the outside. No, catches the corner there for a 1-1. 1-1 to Schneider. Tanabe aboard at second here for the Broncos. Broncos in the all-white uniforms today. Briarcliff all blacks here on a sunny 73-degree day at the Bell Smith Softball Complex. The 0-2. That one is hit foul and off the backstop. And again, winds blowing in here this afternoon.
Yeah, that's probably the best weather they're going to have all weekend. The way tomorrow's looking, they already moved it up to 10 to noon tomorrow. So anticipating this weather, but couldn't ask for a better day to play softball.
An 0-2 here to Lauren Schneider with Pinero on deck. This one is outside. That'll be a ball one. 1-2. Go around the diamond to meet the Briarcliff Chargers. Following this pitch here from Crone. As Crone looks in and deals, trying to nibble on that outside corner, hit back towards the third base coaching box there, and everybody skedaddles out of the way. Let's go around the diamond and meet the Briarcliff Chargers. Up the middle at shortstop will be Jessica James. Second base duties, Skylar Bainter here this afternoon. At the corners, it's Kayla Prosecco at first base. And anchoring the hot corner, Cadence Kinder will get your outfielders here following the 1-2. Chopper, second base side. That's fielded and flipped over to first in time. Bainter goes to Prosecco. And the Chargers have the first out here, the bottom half of the first inning. Tanabe does advance to third, so Schneider paying a bill there and advancing the runner. Haley Pineo now getting set to hit. Pineo has a hot bat here for the Broncos as of late. 365 and 19 runs batted in. Could make it 20 here on this AB. As Crone looks in, runner in scoring position over at third base, Isabel Tanabe, who reached by way of an error, stole the bag at second, and was advanced over on the FC3. Jan, Richter, and Schultz left to right out in the outfield here for Briarcliff this afternoon. Pitch in there high and tight, little chin music. That'll bring the count to even Stevens at 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 down. One's across the board here at the Bill Smith Softball Complex on Field 1. For those familiar with the 8-plex out here. That's fluttered foul. And that'll bring the count to 1-2 as Pineo steps out of the box and adjusts. Chats over with Lauren Lee, who is sitting in the on-deck circle. Lee, the team leader in home runs so far this season, belted out 5 big flies on the Kansas and Missouri road trips. Swung on, chopped, and just got a piece of it to keep it foul and to keep the at-bat alive. Haley Pineo. In the hot corner here for the Broncos, came in relief kind of midway through the season due to some injuries over there at the third base bag, and she has done very well defensively, but might even be brighter with the bat. See that pitch upstairs, taken for a ball. Even up the count here at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Tyson Avronic, Marcus Metcalf along with you this afternoon here on Extreme Sports. Delighted to get Hastings College softball season underway for the first time. Exclusive home for Bronco Sports right here on Extreme Sports as Pineo swings and misses just over the top of it. She goes down on strikes. That'll bring up Lauren Lee with a ribby opportunity. Isabel Tanabe standing over at the third base bag. Lauren Lee, the right-handed batter, stepping in. It has the most pop here for the Broncos, but pop might not be the name of the game today with winds blowing in at about 17 miles per hour. We've seen fly balls in the past that look like they're goners that end up just on the back of the infield here. That is how tricky this field can play. Probably one of the more trickier ones when it comes to wind and how it affects softballs here in the Great Plains Athletic Conference. Pitch inside and maybe even a little low for a ball that'll bring the count evens here at 1-1. RBI opportunity here for the Broncos, trying to strike first against the Chargers. Pitch high and outside, taken for a ball. That'll bring the count to 2-1. Hitter's count here for Lee. Big hole up here on the middle of the diamond. Second base playing over to the right a little bit. The slow roller down the third base side, grab just in time before it goes foul, and they're going to fire it across the diamond in time. Kinder to Prosecco. And the inning comes to a close. The Broncos can't capitalize on the first at-bat error and a stolen base as Tanabe is stranded at third. And is a grounder to first to end the frame. Heading to the top half of the second, still scoreless here at the Bill Smith Softball Complex. Broncos nothing, Chargers nothing. You're listening to Broncos Softball on Extreme Sports.
Sundays are meant for relaxation and indulgence, and there's no better place to do it than at Bullseye Sports Bar and Grill in Hastings. Enjoy the Sunday brunch buffet from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., featuring an irresistible spread of breakfast favorites that will make your taste buds dance. Choose from fluffy pancakes, sizzling bacon, fresh fruits, and so much more. It's all you can eat and everything you could ever want. Bullseye Sports Bar and Grill, located at 2017 West 2nd, across from the water park in Hastings.
You're locked in to Extreme Sports.
Olivares now hits a line drive to deep left field. Ward is back to the wall. Granny time!
There's Doncic wheeling inside in traffic and got it to go. Calling the foul.
The home of 24/7 Sports Talk. Nothing but pure sports action.
And we welcome you back to the Bill Smith Softball Complex. Tyson Nevronic, Marcus Metcalf here as we get set to go for the top half of the second inning. 4, 5, and 6 due up here for the Briarcliff Chargers. Let's go down the lineup and meet these Chargers. Kayla Prosesco is the first baseman. She hits in the cleanup spot. Georgia Crone hitting 5th. She's doing the pitching here this afternoon. Haley Yon out in left field hitting 6th. It's Jalen Yankee, the designated position player, hitting 7th. Skylar Bainter, the second baseman, hitting 8th. And Britt Schultz out in right. She rounds out the batting order hitting 9th. There's a hot shot down the third base line. Gloved there by Pinheiro. And Pinheiro throws to Lee in time. Beautiful play there at the hot corner. And plays that perfectly. That's why they call it the hot corner. That one got there in a hurry, Marcus.
Yes, it did. A lot of top spin on that, and good thing she was able to get in front of it. Easy play, get the easy out to start the top half of the second.
So a 5-3 putout starts off proceedings here in the top half of the second inning. The pitcher, Georgia Crone, trying to help out her cause as she goes to work against Kira Brack. Brack got in trouble a little bit earlier, a leadoff single. But then a sacrifice bunt, and Jessica James trying to use the wheels to take and snag an extra bag. Well, a heads-up play from Lexi Mudloff, who was covering over on a sacrifice bunt attempt, makes the fire down over to Pinheiro in time. And that, all told, was a 1-3-5 double play. Just your standard 1-3-5, by the way, as that pitch is swung on and missed for a strike. That brings the count to 1-2. With Haley Yon sitting in the on-deck circle here for Briarcliff. Pitch outside, trying to get Georgia to chase there. 2-2. Creeping in at the corner there is Pinheiro a little bit. As this one is fouled back and off the fence. And a nice right-handed grab there from the on-deck circle hitter, Haley Yon. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 down here in the top half of the second inning. Briarcliff with 1 hit and 1 error thus far. The off-speed has Georgia Crone way out in front. And a beautiful time to dial it up there as Brack pulls the string and gets her opposing pitcher for the swing and miss.
Yeah, beautiful changeup right there. I was talking to Coach Williams earlier this week, and he said she's got to just pound the zone, use her off speed, and she can work to perfection here.
Haley on the left fielder, stepping in here for the first time this afternoon. Takes a look at a wide one there from Brack. Brack settles in. She works quickly. That's one thing I noticed. She gets that ball in the glove and is immediately right back to work in the circle there, not giving the opposing pitcher much time, if any, to even think about what they just saw.
I'm saying there's no pitch clock here.
2-0. She doesn't need one. She is moving with some pace as Brack fires that one in there, and all Yon can do is get a piece of it, fouls it back into the fencing, which you may or may not have heard rattle slightly with our beautiful outside microphone here to pick up some crowd noise this afternoon. 2-1. Delivery to Yon, and that's in there for a strike on the outside. Boy, the umpire got really excited. I thought he was getting ready to ring her up with 1 strike. So Yon's got 2 strikes on. It's Deuces Wild. 2's across the board.
Well, he did ring her up.
2 balls, 2 strikes. There she goes down on strikes. And 2 consecutive strikeouts for Brack. Retires the side. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. We go to the bottom half of the second. Broncos, nothing. Chargers, nothing. This is Hastings College Softball on Extreme Sports.
Freshen up your home with vibrant flowers this spring. From colorful spring silks, spring-scented candles, to seasonal home decor bunnies. Come shop 20% off savings March 17th through March 22nd for our spring open house. Hours for our sale are Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 5, and Saturday, 9 to noon. located at 2618 West 2nd in Hastings, serving Hastings since 1955.
Rev up your energy and fuel your body with the protein punch you've been craving. When it comes to nutrition, Highland Dairy has a wide range of locally made products. Discover tasty ways to a stronger, healthier you with Highland's range of yogurts, smoothies, flavored milk, and cottage cheese. For parents with picky eaters and trendsetters looking to jump on the revival of cottage cheese, Highland has what you need to hit your protein goals. Highland, locally made, naturally delicious.
Welcome back to Extreme Sports.
Back here from the Bill Smith Softball Complex, Tyson Everonic, Marcus Metcalf with you. 5, 6, and 7 due up here for the Hastings College Broncos. It'll be Anna Medeiros, Lexi Mudloff, and Caitlin Kapler here in the bottom half of inning number 2. Still scoreless, just one hit on the board from Briar Cliff, happening to lead off proceedings as Medeiros takes a look at a pitch on the inside. That'll be in there for a ball. Should bring the count to 2-0. Medeiros, 377 hitter, 2 home runs, and 15 RBIs on the season. Second in term of RBI production here for the Broncos, as that pitch also missing. And that'll bring the count to 2-1. Medeiros, Lexi Mudloff waiting in the on-deck circle. Mudloff hit cleanup for this Broncos squad last year, and with some of the incoming 25 different players that the Broncos brought in over the offseason, Mudloff got a little bit of relief in terms of some of the game pressure, and they moved her down to 6, and she has really started to produce here for HC. 3-1 count, and Medeiros looks at that one go wide and works herself a leadoff walk. So see if the Broncos can capitalize here after getting a leadoff walk. They had a leadoff error in the first frame, but were unable to capitalize, stranding Tanabe over at third base. Lexi Mudloff now strolling to the plate, and that pitch is inside. Mudloff skips out of the way. Mudloff, of course, part of the GICC squad, the first team to make it to state for GICC in the year that which we don't speak of, 2020. That was before everything went crazy as Mudloff skies this one out to left field, and wind blows it back in, and Jan is out there to make the grab. And the wind doing exactly what we had predicted. Blows one that would be a goner right back into shallow left field as Mudloff flies out. Caitlin Kapler sitting in the, now waiting at the plate, 306 batting average, 11 RBIs. Watches that one go up high for a ball. You were saying?
Yeah, both the corners are charging hard because they're expecting a bunt here to play small ball from Coach Baker. So let's see if she can put one over the hot corner there over the first baseman.
Kapler looks in, chops this one foul, and that'll leave it up to count here at 1-1. Medeiros standing over at the first base bag. Again, a leadoff error and a leadoff walk, and you got to hope to capitalize on some of these early opportunities. That's the forbidden mistakes that pitchers talk about, is you can't suffer leadoff walks and you can't have errors early on in the innings. Broncos given 2 gifts, unable to cash in after the first. We'll see if we can't move the runners around here in inning number 2. Count sitting at 2-1 here to Caitlin Kapler. Kapler hits this one off to the right side, and that's going to roll foul, or I should say fly over the fence foul. That'll bring up the count to 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 down here to Kapler with Medeiros sitting at the first base bag. Double play depth here by Briar Cliff. High fly ball, right side again. It's going to go into the bullpen area. The newly, shouldn't say newly, but recently added bullpen areas here to the Bill Smith Softball Complex. I was going to say since my playing days, many years ago in like men's slow pitch Division C. We didn't have them, but they've since added those. It's been 20 years since we've rounded the base paths. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 down. Kapler looks at the pitch high, nice eye. That'll bring the count full. Payoff pitch upcoming here with Medeiros at the first base bag. Storsund waiting in the on-deck circle, hitting 8th here for HC. Kapler draws a walk. 2 walks here in the bottom half of the frame. Kapler goes to second. And that's Medeiros goes to second, Kapler to first. And now we'll see here if the bottom of the order can't get some production going and move him around. Left-handed hitter here, Shea Storsund. .229 batting average on the campaign. And some early troubles here for Georgia Crone. Storsund squares around a bunt. Beautifully laid down. 2 runners now in scoring position on the 5-3 sacrifice. So that'll bring Medeiros over to third, Kapler to second. And now Nicole Halsey with the opportunity. Designated position player, .286 batting average. She is part of the Northwest squads that ultimately went back-to-back. A product of head coach Mitch Sadden, the Northwest Vikings. And a cousin of mine, actually. Relation. She hits a hell of a lot better than I do, that's for sure. Here's the pitch to Halsey. Takes a look at 1 high. Halsey with 2 in scoring position. Facing a 2-0 count. Halsey can work her way on to first. The lineup flips, and it's the top of the order with the bases loaded, as it's now 3-0. Got to imagine probably red light here for Halsey. Take a couple pitches. Pulls the bat back. And that one just nibbles on the outside corner. 3-1.
Yeah, from my vantage point, it looks like it's crossing almost about the chalk line there. I mean, he's been calling that all game so far.
Right on the black. Georgia Crone not afraid to paint around the corners, as that's a swing and a miss for strike 2. And now we got a 3-2 with 2 down and 2 on. Ducks on the pond here, scoring opportunity here for the Broncos, but they got to cash in. Here's the 3-2 from Crone. It's a slow roller, shortstop side, fielded by James, goes over to first in time. 6-3 put out, puts away the threat for Hastings College in the bottom half of the second. HC is able to get 2 aboard via the walk. Sacrifice bump put 2 on in scoring position, but they're stranded there as the second has come to a close. Still scoreless here from the Bill Smith Softball Complex. Chargers, Broncos, all tied up as we get set for the top of the third. It's all coming up here on Extreme Sports.
Need a power boost after a serious workout? Stick with the original recovery drink. Highland Dairy's chocolate milk contains 13 essential nutrients, including protein and electrolytes, helping you build muscle and hydrate better than water. Our Chocolicious milk is perfect for building healthy bones in little ones and maintaining bone health in adults. It's chocolate milk with no artificial growth hormones, and it's locally made, so you know you're getting the best for your body. Highland, locally made, naturally delicious.
You are listening to Extreme Sports, Central Nebraska's new home for sports.
Well, 3 left to board for the Broncos after the first 2 frames. Keeps us scoreless here at the Bill Smith Softball Complex in the Great Plains Athletic Conference season opener. Tyson Nevronik and Marcus Metcalf here with you this afternoon as Brack will now go to work on the bottom of the order. 7, 8, 9 due up as she has looked good so far here in the first 2 innings, knock on wood, Marcus.
Yes, she has. And she, like I said, I was talking to Coach Williams, she just needs to pound the zone, and that's what she's been doing for the first 2 innings. Hopefully she can keep that going.
Jalen Yankee, designated position player. Not a very good baseball team, but pitch on the inside. In there for a strike, 0-1. I got a lot of guff, by the way, when I was down in the dugout earlier. The reason? My baseball cap, team of choice. Too many Cubs fans down there in that dugout. A couple Royals as well here in that coaching staff. As that swung on and missed there for Jalen Yankee. They are not a fan of the Birds, so we're putting our NL Central allegiances aside to get through here the 2025 season, as it's an 0-2 from Brack on the outside corner. Doesn't get the call. Yankee at the plate. Skylar Bainter in the on-deck circle, and it's Britt Schultz in the hole here, 7-8-9 for BC. Briar Cliff again coming in with a 5-9 record. Swung on and missed there from Yankee, and that's 3 straight strikeouts here from Kiera Brack, as she is dialed in here this afternoon here at the Bill Smith Softball Complex. Skylar Bainter.
Yep, Bainter coming in this game, hitting 143 with 2 hits on the season and 3 RBIs.
Brack takes a look, swung on and missed. As the parade of strikes continue here from Kiera Brack. And that's another thing about this parade of strikes, is not only with the 3 consecutive strikeouts, but there is so much to be said as he pulls the string on the off speed there, doesn't get the call. There's so much to be said about working ahead in the count by battling and getting ahead to where you can work with a 0-1, and then you can play around with a few pitches. So she's done a good job of not only commanding the strike zone, but getting ahead of batters here in this one, as this one is popped foul on the first base side.
And what I've noticed with her is when she gets ahead in the count, she likes to go to that changeup. So now she's ahead in the count, 1-2. I wouldn't be surprised if Coach Baker or Coach Theo Harris, whoever's calling the pitches down there, is going to give her the changeup here with 2 strikes.
Multiple coaches on the bucket here for Hastings College. It's a fun roster and a really fun coaching staff. This is just a fun team to be around. That was the vibe that I got. I mean, you don't go a month and a half on the road without a good group to hang out with, as this ball is hit past the shortstop's glove. It's going to roll on into center field, and Briar Cliff has their second hit of the game. Skylar Bainter's 3rd hit so far on the season, as she slaps a single just past the shortstop's glove. But you don't go and make those road trips without having a really good crew, and this is a well put together crew, not only from the roster perspective, but coaching staff as well. These guys have a lot of fun together. So 1 down, 1 on, and 9-hole Britt Schultz stepping up to the plate, slapping 1 foul just off the third base side. And again, a 0-1 count advantage here for Brack.
But when you've been on the road for the last month and a half, you got to have fun with it, right? You know you're going to eventually come home, so you got to make it fun while you can, and make some friendship relationships and make them better.
0-1 count, pitch inside. That might have got her, but did she go around? And an unfortunate strike there for Britt Schultz, as I think that one got her on the wrist, but the bat breaks the plane. And so that'll be an 0-2. 2 strikes, 1 down, 1 on here for Briar Cliff. Pitch on the outside, you bet. Strike 3. First strikeout looking, 4th strikeout of the ball game here for Kiera Brack, as that'll flip the order now to Jessica James. 1 for 1 so far today with the single. 1 of 2 hits so far here in the contest. James also dangerous with the wheels, as we saw when she got to second base on the sacrifice bunt. Had so much confidence in those wheels, tried to nab the extra bag, but was gunned down. And a very fortuitous double play for the Broncos, as James hits this one off the fence. And that'll even up the count here at 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 down.
Yeah, she saw there was nobody there at third base. She's like, heck, I'm just going to try and seal third here. But fortunate enough, the Broncos were able to get back there in time to get her tagged out.
Heads up, base running, but not in time. 1 ball, 1 strike. Second base side. Mudloff is there to make the grab on a little low line drive. A nice play over there at the keystone position. And Briar Cliff is set down. They strand 1 after 1 hit on the line out to second to end it. Top of the order coming up here as we get set for the bottom half of the third. Still scoreless here from the Bill Smith Softball Complex. Broncos and Chargers. Bottom of the third coming up next here on Extreme Sports.
There's a new tomorrow on the other side of the horizon. There are houses to make into homes, businesses to be built, and friendships to enjoy.
Someday's gonna be one day soon.
Build your tomorrow with a bank you can rely on. Pinnacle Bank, the way banking should be.
Keep it right here. You are listening to Extreme Sports.
Top of the order coming up here for the Hastings College Broncos. Isabel Tanabe, Lauren Schneider, and Kaylee Pineo all set and due up here in the top half of the third. Still scoreless. So far, Briar Cliff with the only 2 base hits of the contest. But Hastings College with more left on base, all told. Got an error and 2 walks so far in the first 2 frames as they've gone against Georgia Crone here. Crone now missing on the first pitch and the second as well. So it's a 2-0 count. Really kind of polar opposites that we've seen here as that count is now 1-1. That catches the inside corner, 1-1 here. But 2 opposites where you've got Brack who is working ahead in the count, and it seems like Crone has kind of been battling, working behind in the count, and all told has done a pretty good job keeping the hitters at bay as this ball is hit out to left field for the out, but doing a good job of getting into danger, but being able to wiggle out of that danger is Georgia Crone.
Yeah, absolutely. And like we just proved it right there, where a good fly ball to left field probably most days would be gone, but that south wind keeping that ball in, able to get the fly out there.
Lauren Schneider now at the plate, 357 batting average, 11 RBI. Schneider, left-handed hitter here for the Broncos, takes a look at a first pitch strike. That'll bring the count to 0-1. Pineo, one of the team leaders in terms of average, waits in the on-deck circle. That pitch also nibbling the corner for a strike. It's an 0-2. Here to the 2-hole. Schneider with a sac bunt in her first plate appearance. Back in inning number 1. No bunt on this time with the bases empty. Takes a look at the first wide one. That'll bring the count to 1-2. Again, Briar Cliff so far, 2 hits, 1 error. Hastings College, goose eggs across the board except for the LOB category where they've got 3. Got a piece of it there from Schneider, chops it foul. Bring the count to 1-2. So far here, wind blowing in today as mentioned. But we're really kind of salivating to get to watch this Bronco offense, which did a lot of good things during non-conference play. So far they've been kept quiet by Georgia Crone, their opposition pitcher, here for Briar Cliff. I mean, so much so that you heard Coach Baker talking about it in the pregame show, in the dugout pregame show, where he said last year we would not have faced some of these nationally ranked number 1 pitchers, but they saw our offense, they saw what we were capable of doing, and we saw the aces where that would not have happened a year ago. Here's a ball that's just dribbled outside in front of the catcher. Nice job to get there is Kane as she fires down to Francisco for the 2-1 putout. And the first 2 batters have been set down in order. See if we can't get a little 2-out rally going here from Kaylee Pineo. Pineo, again, 365 batting average, 19 RBIs, has come in and was the designated position player for the Broncos earlier this season and has since taken over third base duties due to injury. And Pineo hits this one out to the right field side, and it's going to hop up and over the fence, or what do we have? That was a tough ball to judge. I think it's going to be a double. Going to be a double as it gets underneath the fencing there after it gets by the center fielder's glove, Richter. Tough to judge there with the transparent fences on whether that got over on the hop, but it'll be a stand-up double for Kaylee Pineo.
Yeah, that's first base hit there for the Broncos in this game. A double there with 2 outs now. See if they can bring her home and get the first run on the board here in this ball game.
Good opportunity here. Lauren Lee now hitting in the cleanup spot with the runner on in scoring position. Lauren Lee, 353, 5 home runs, and 18 RBIs. And hoping the 2-out rally can continue here for HC. Pitch inside. Taken for a ball.
I've noticed that with her. She likes to paint the corners. She hardly ever goes to the middle of the play. She always wants to play zone and play right on the corners. So, and see if Hastings College can make the adjustments here.
Here's the pitch from Crone. That'll take the inside corner, and that'll bring the count to 2-1. Still a hitter's count here for the dangerous cleanup hitter in Lauren Lee. Anchoring the first base bag for the Broncos so far this campaign. Pitch to Lee. Misses. That'll bring the count to 3-1. Anna Medeiros is waiting in the on-deck circle. 377 hitters, so danger, heart of the order here with 2 down. And once again, the Broncos find themselves with a runner on in scoring position. And that one is in there for a strike. Ooh, fooled me, Houdini. That'll bring it full. And payoff pitch upcoming. The 3-2 with 2 down. Lee looking to poke one out into the outfield and get the Broncos on the board. Hits it down the third base line, just foul. Broncos Chargers here this afternoon. This is game 1 of a doubleheader. We'll have the second game for you. In between games, we'll cut away to some regular scheduled programming, but then be back later on this evening for the second half here of the Double Dip. And then tomorrow, it's bright and early with the Northwestern Raiders. As it swung on and missed there from Lee. We'll talk more about that upcoming schedule and how we got here with Mother Nature coming in here after the break. But the Broncos set down and another runner left on board. That's 4 total for the Broncos so far here this afternoon. Speaking of 4, we're going to the top half of the 4th. Briar Cliff and Broncos tied at 0. You're listening to Hastings College Softball on Extreme Sports.
Industrial Irrigation Services has proudly supplied reliable horsepower to the industrial engine market since 1955. Our entire team is dedicated to fostering long-term relationships with our customers and key suppliers. Honesty and integrity make up the foundation that our business is built upon. Our entire team is ready to deliver the best sales, engineering, parts, and service support you have come to expect over many decades. No matter your industry or the rigorous demands of your application, our team of experts stand ready to serve you. We have been serving our customers and friends for over a half-century, and we look forward to continuing to provide you with the absolute best industrial engine packages and services for generations to come. When you need a solution for your industrial needs, don't just buy horsepower. Invest in reliable horsepower.
Keep it right here. You are listening to Extreme Sports.
2-3-4 due up here for the Briarcliff Chargers as we get set to your lead off the 4th inning. Still nothing on the scoreboard between the two teams. Knotted up at 0. 2 hits for Briarcliff, 1 for Hastings College. For the Broncos, 4 runners left on board. That has been the Achilles heel so far here this afternoon as Brack goes to work here on Cadence Kinder with a sack bunt, but ended up being a double play back in inning number 1. The ever so standard 1-3-5 double play as Jessica James tried to nab the extra bag. 1-1 here to Cadence. Riley Kane awaiting in the on-deck circle. And the cleanup hitter Persisco in the hole. Swung on and hit right field side. Camping under it is going to be Kampler, as she's got the first out. So a fly out to right to start things off here in the 4th half. Again, tomorrow morning we'll have the doubleheader with the Hastings College Broncos and Northwestern Raiders. I'll get on the air at 9:45 with our pregame show. They pushed the games up to attempt to beat Mother Nature. And then that'll be followed by later on in the evening. We'll have some national tournament basketball for you on the women's side of things as the Broncos get set to take on College of the Ozarks for the 9th time in 20 years. And we'll also have the other matchup in the regional competition in the first round following that. But Bronco basketball on the airways for you as well. Be tomorrow evening. Tomorrow morning again, Northwestern Raiders and Northwestern, they're a pretty good bunch. 20 wins so far on the campaign, as it's a 1-2 here to Riley Kane. Kane squaring around, pulls back, and slaps this one to the right field side. That's going to go all the way foul. So the count will stay here at 1-2. Brack takes the ball in the circle. Still scoreless here between the Broncos and Chargers. First batter sent down on a fly out to right. There's a line drive right back up the middle, deposited into center field for the third hit of the ball game here for the Chargers. Kane adds to the list of Charger hitters. Jessica James, Riley Kane, and Skylar Bainter. The 3 base knocks so far here for Briar Cliff. One down, and that'll bring up Kayla Persisco. Persisco grounded out to third in her first AB. And boy, how timely would another ground out be, as we could see the beautiful 5-4-3. Still, I don't care what you say. It's one of the finest plays in defense of baseball or softball to watch is the old 5-4-3 going around the diamond. As that pitch misses out.
Yeah, Persico coming in this game hitting .286 with 12 hits and 5 walks on the season thus far.
Going up against Brack with 4 strikeouts so far here on the afternoon. And rarely so far have we seen her fall behind in the count, which I believe is what's happened here at a 2-1 count. Kayla Persisco with hitter's count here, hops this one foul first base side. Coming over to make the play is going to be Lee in foul territory, and that's the second out.
Big second out there to prevent that runner from advancing to second base there. And so 2 down now for HC. See if they can get themselves out of this inning.
Georgia Crone in the batter's box. Crone strikeout swinging in her first AB. The opposing pitcher as well. So an opportunity to help the cause, as they say, but it was Brack with her number in the second frame. This ball popped up into the air. It's going to blow back into the shortstop side, and Tanabe is there to retire the side. Fly out to short. Make short work of the Briarcliff Chargers. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left aboard as we get set to go to the bottom half of the fourth. 5, 6, and 7 due up here for the Broncos. You're listening to Hastings College Softball here on Extreme Sports.
At Bosselman Energy Companies, we take pride in being a trusted partner to our customers, a strong presence in the communities we serve, and a family business that truly cares. Founded in Grand Island in 1948, Bosselman Energy has grown into a diverse group of companies with locations across the Midwest. We supply local communities with essential petroleum products that fuel farms, power industries, and heat homes. With over 70 years of industry experience, Bosselman Energy remains committed to the principles that have guided us from the beginning, ensuring our continued success for generations to come.
Keep it here on Extreme Sports.
Hits it to right field. Brennan is back. He's at the wall, and we are tied.
Your all-access pass to nonstop sports talk and live play-by-play coverage.
You guys are the #1 sports station because you make the phones light up.
Nice and Veronica, Marcus Metcalf back with you here as we get set to go in the bottom half of the fourth inning. 5, 6, and 7 due up here for the Broncos. Broncos so far held to just 1 hit from Georgia Crone, who is in the circle here and dealing for the Chargers as she deals a first pitch strike. 0-1. 3 hits so far here for Briar Cliff. 4 strikeouts thrown from Broncos starting pitcher Kiera Brack. And a stalemate here on the scoreboard in the opener for the Great Plains Athletic Conference season. Briarcliff this afternoon, Northwestern tomorrow, all pushed ahead due to some potential impending weather, where we could see just about a bit of everything here in the South Central Nebraska area as Medeiros rolls one up the middle for another base hit for the Broncos. Second hit so far here in the afternoon, this one a single, as that'll bring up Lexi Mudloff. Mudloff, .316 batting average and 11 RBIs on the campaign. Started off the ball game with a fly out to left, and one that off the bat you thought would have been with some in-flight movies on it and maybe some peanuts and soda, but as it's told, it gets caught up in the wind and gets blown back into basically shallow left. Here as Mudloff works with a runner on at first. Georgia Crone dealing, and this ball is popped straight up into the air, right up into the sun, and nobody can find it. Nobody can find it, and it's going to be fair. When we have a discussion, home plate umpire signaling fair ball, he's going to have a discussion here with the infield umpire to see if any player from Briarcliff touched that prior to that rolling out. There was 3 players that were crashing in and around it, but I don't know, Marcus, from this vantage point, I didn't see anybody touch it.
Yeah, I didn't either. When they first came in, they are going to call it a foul ball. So both umpires look like they came together and said, nope, nobody touched until that ball hit foul territory. So they're going to bring Mudloff back to the plate and bring Medeiros back to first base here. So we'll see now if Coach Baker, if he's going to decide to, I don't think with 2 strikes they're going to bunt her over, but I think she should swing away here.
No, not with Mudloff power. We don't bunt. 0-2 count. Medeiros at first base. That ball is taken outside for a ball, and it's a 1-2. What a wacky play, though. That was a straight up the chute pop fly. It checks up at the circle, and like I can't do with my golf shots, just takes a wicked back bounce and a backswing. Rolls backwards. There's a swing and a miss, and a throw down to second. Are they going to double him up? They are. Strike him out, throw him out, double play. There from Briarcliff. Mudloff with the swing and miss. Medeiros was on the pitch, and just like that, strikeout, throw out, double play, has 2 away, and the leadoff hitter is retired. Caitlin Kapler now heads to the plate with 2 down. Time for another 2-out rally here from the Broncos. Kapler walked in her first at-bat. So after the wacky ball-rolling foul, bringing Mudloff back to the plate, a strikeout, throw out, double play, completely changing the fortune here this half inning. Broncos would have had 2 base runners on with no out. Instead, now they have no runners on with 2 outs, and those are backbreakers.
Yes, it is a run yourself out of an inning, and that's what you don't want, especially when it's been a pitcher's duel all game. You're going to take every advantage you can get if it's stolen base or a walk or something.
3 hits for Briarcliff, 2 for HC. Kapler watches the pitch go wide. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 down. Storsund and Halsey due up here for the Broncos if Kapler can find a way to get on and instigate a little 2-out rally here in the 4th and put Georgia Crone under a little bit more pressure. She wants a slow roller to third base, fired over in time. 5-3, Kinder to Persisco ends the bottom half of the 4th as we go 5. Still scoreless here from the Bill. Broncos nothing, Chargers nothing. This is Bronco Softball on Extreme Sports.
Family Medical Center of Hastings is the place to go for all your healthcare needs. Their team is trained to treat the whole person regardless of age. They provide a wide range of medical care, including acute care, routine health screenings, and treatment of chronic conditions. They're dedicated to providing you with the best care in the most cost-effective manner. Family Medical Center, as an independent clinic, has served the community for over 65 years. Your family's home for healthcare. 1021 West 14th Street. Proud to support all area student athletes.
Bored of the same old sports coverage? Get on the cutting edge of sports with Extreme Sports.
That ball hammers deep toward left into the well. That ball is gone!
The biggest plays, breaking news, and we can't forget the best sports talk.
Let's be great. Let's be great.
We are Extreme Sports.
Back here at the Bill Smith Softball Complex, top half of the fifth inning, in a game that is booking right along with not a lot of traffic on the base paths. No score between the Briarcliff Chargers and Hastings College Broncos. Home opener for the Broncos, conference opener for the Broncos. A matchup with York that was previously scheduled was postponed, and so this is officially the first home contest here for the Hastings College Broncos on the season, and just nice to get to a ballpark, not having to live out of buses and hotels, I think, here for Hastings College. And they got a pretty decent home stretch here. Really got to start to take advantage of it and get out of the gates here in the Great Plains Athletic Conference standings. Get out of the gates hot. I think that's got to be the message here for the Broncos. But so far, here they've been stifled on the other end. Georgia Crone throwing right with Kiera Brack here in what's turned into a pitcher's duel this afternoon.
Oh, absolutely, and like you mentioned, you want to start off conference play with a W, and then they got the top number 4 team in the country coming in tomorrow. So you want to come out here with probably at least a split and go into the number 4 team and get ready to play even better softball yet tomorrow.
20 wins, 5 losses for the Northwestern Raiders as they have raced out of the gates here in 2025 as advertised. Red hot are the Red Raiders. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes here to Haley Yon, with Yankee and Bainter in the 7 and 8 slots. Jan with a strikeout swinging in her first AB, facing the 2-2 count. As Brack fires, misses just high and wide. Didn't miss by much. Don't change too much if you're Kiera Brack. Looking for her 5th punch out so far here of the contest in the 5th inning. Brack winds and deals, and swung on and missed. As you heard the pop in the glove from Ava Medeiros up here in the press box. Jan goes down swinging her 2nd strikeout of the contest, and Yalen Yankee, first baseman, designated position player, now at bat for Briarcliff. Jalen takes a pinch wide. That'll bring the count to 1-0. Corner's playing in here on the 7-hitter. Now third base backing up to the spot. This one is popped straight up the chute, and it will go foul. Even up to count, 1 ball, 1 strike. And so far for Briarcliff on the afternoon, 3 hits, 1 error, 2 left on. Hastings College, 2 hits, 4 batters left on after a couple walks and an error. But the inability to get clutch hits, which we kind of talked about in the pregame show a little bit, and that was something that happened on one of the road trips in Kansas where they played some top-tier competition, and the book on that series was they didn't play all that bad. They just couldn't get the clutch hit. They couldn't drive in the runs when they had them in scoring position. They've had a couple opportunities so far today and have been unable to extend the lead. Swung on and missed, and back-to-back Ks as Jan and Yankee go down. And that'll be the 2nd out, bringing up Skylar Bainter. Bainter with a single earlier in the contest in her first at-bat. That was back in inning number 3. That broke a streak of 3 consecutive strikeouts for Kiera Brack. Brack with the 2 so far here to start off the frame, 6 on the day. Behind in the count here to Skylar. Here's the 1-0. That's in there for a strike, you bet. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 down. Infielder shifting a little bit towards the corners, at least up the middle. That's creating a very wide gap up here between short and second. It was Bainter who went right up the middle in her first at bat, right on a frozen rope. But it's a 1-2. Can she fan? No, just outside. Kiera Brack was looking for 3 strikeouts here in the frame.
See if she can get a strikeout here and get all 3 batters out on the strike and see if we can carry some momentum here going in the bottom of the 5th.
Brack's got the 2-2. Swung on and missed. You bet. Side goes down in order. All on strikeouts, all swinging. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left to board for the Briarcliff Chargers as we go to the bottom half of the 5th and see if the Broncos can't get a rally going here and put up some runs on the board. It's scoreless here from the Bill. We're back with more Broncos softball right after this on Extreme Sports.
I'm John Butler, funeral director and owner at Livingston Butler Volland Funeral Home and Cremation Center in Hastings.
And I'm Nikki Butler, the advanced funeral planning specialist. Whether you choose a traditional service, cremation, or a unique memorial service, our experienced staff is here to help guide you through every step. Visit us at lbvfh.com to learn more about our services and how we can support you.
Livingston Butler Volland Funeral Home and Cremation Center. We are here when your need is greatest.
Keep it right here. You are listening to Extreme Sports.
All right, we're back here at the Bill Smith Softball Complex. 8-9-1 due up here for the Hastings College Broncos. GPAC season opener here against the Briarcliff Chargers. All scoreless here from field number 1 at the Bill Smith Softball Complex. Shea Storsund in the at the plate. Storsund, the sacrifice bunt back in her first AB. It's 8-9-1. So Storsund, Halsey, and Tanabe. Swung on and missed there from Shea. 0-2 count here as they continue to try to find a way to create some havoc here for Georgia Crone, who has just been dealing as of late. This one rolled to the third base side. Slow roller picked up, fired over in time. 5-3 put out as Kinder makes the play to Prosecco. Second straight 5-3 put out for the Broncos as Nicole Halsey now steps up to the plate. She grounded out to short in her first at-bat. Halsey coming into the contest just shy of 300 with a 286 batting average. Isabel Tanabe waiting in the on-deck circle. Halsey trying to get aboard to get something for the top of the order to feast on. 0-1. This one there from Nicole Halsey. Here's the pitch from Crone. Halsey right back up the middle. Gloved by Georgia. Flipped over to first base in time. And that's a 1-3 put out and 2 quick ground outs for the Broncos to start off the bottom half of the 5th. Isabel Tanabe now at the plate. Tanabe coming in as the leadoff hitter with the best batting average on the team coming into today. Has singled and has flown out to left. Nope, check that. That was she reached on an error and then flown out to left. That is way too early in the season not to be reading my own handwriting. 1-0 count here. Is chopped right back to the pitcher. And deja vu from what we just saw from Halsey. It's a 1-3 put out there from Tanabe, and it's a side retired for the Broncos in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on board. We go to the 6th, still scoreless. Here at the Bill Smith Softball Complex, it's Broncos and Chargers. It's the GPAC season opener, and it's exclusively on Extreme Sports.
There's a noticeable difference when you walk into Tom Dinsdale CDJR in Hastings. You can't miss the exceptional customer service that we're known for, or the huge emphasis we place on providing unsurpassed vehicle service with experienced technicians and quality parts. And of course, we think big when it comes to giving back to the community that has supported us for so many years. At Tom Dinsdale, we take tremendous pride in serving our friends, family, and neighbors throughout central Nebraska. See for yourself. Stop by Dinsdale CDJR today.
You are listening to Extreme Sports, Central Nebraska's new home for sports.
Briarcliff Hastings College here this afternoon on a sunny Thursday afternoon here at the Bill Smith Softball Complex. 9-1-2 due up here for Briarcliff. Brett Schultz will lead things off. She struck out looking. So far, for Kira Brack, she's done an excellent job with the bottom of the order. Get a load of this. Just one hit from the 7, 8, 9, and all told has 4 strikeouts with this bottom of the order. But Schultz flies one out to right field. Getting over there at the line, making the play is going to be Kapler. And that'll break up a streak of 3 straight strikeouts from Kira Brack. But we'll take the out here. One down as the order flips, and that'll bring up Jessica James. Single and a line out to second. 1 for 2 so far here on the afternoon. As Brack deals, first pitch swinging, ball shallow center field. Coming on to make the play is going to be Storsund. And there's 2 down. Like that, first pitch swinging right to the center fielder. Caden Skinder now at the plate.
That ball looked so good off the bat, and like you said, that south wind come blowing in today. It died. She came in about 5-6 feet, and that's all it took.
7 strikeouts so far here for Brack. Another first pitch swing. This goes to the third base side. It's going to be flipped over in time. How about that? 2 pitches, 2 outs. We'll take a quick frame there as Briar Cliff is retired in order on the 5-3 putout. We head to the bottom half of the 6th on 2-3-4. Due up here for the Broncos. Big scoring opportunity for HC when we come back. The matchup still tied here, all zeros between the Chargers and Broncos. It's the GPAC season opener here on Extreme Sports.
Freshen up your home with vibrant flowers this spring. From colorful spring silks, spring-scented candles, to seasonal home decor bunnies. Come shop 20% off savings March 17th through March 22nd for our spring open house. Hours for our sale are Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 5, and Saturday, 9 to noon. Located at 2618 West 2nd in Hastings, serving Hastings since 1955.
Keep it right here. You are listening to Extreme Sports.
Back here on Extreme Sports here at the Bill Smith Softball Complex. Tyson Nevronik, Marcus Metcalf with you. Still scoreless here as we head to the bottom half of the 6th inning. This baby's scheduled for 7. And so far been quite the pitcher's duel. 3 hits for Briar Cliff, 2 hits for Hastings College. 4 runners left on for the Broncos, 2 for the Chargers. As it'll be Georgia Crone trying to go to work. 3rd time through the order now here for HC. Let's see if they can't get something started. Lauren Schneider stepping in for the 2nd time. Sacrifice bunt and a little slow roller to the catcher for a 2-1 putout. She's 0 for 1 on the day. Trying to get something started here for the Broncos. As a ball is going to sneak past the second baseman, and that'll be a base hit for Lauren Schneider. Just out the outstretched arms there, the second baseman, Bainter, and the Broncos have something started here in the 6th, just what the doctor ordered, as it's going to be the heart of the order coming up with a runner on at first. Big opportunity here, Marcus, got to cash in.
Oh, absolutely, and I was going to mention Crone came into this game with a 4.86 ERA, 3-4 record with 32 strikeouts, 11 walks, 15 of them doubles, and 6 home runs. So see if the Broncos can move up that ERA there a little bit on Crone and get a victory out of this.
She has pitched well so far here this afternoon. Again, holding the Broncos to just 3 hits, 4 left on. That pitch is inside for ball 1. Kaylee Pineo, coming in with a strikeout and a double. Probably the best hit of the Broncos so far here this afternoon. One that got over the center fielder's glove and just dipped underneath the temporary fencing here as Pineo slashes at this one, and it's going to go foul into the practice field on the other side of the ballpark. 1 ball, 1 strike. And 1 on here for the Broncos as they try to get something started here in the bottom half of the 6th. Again, this game number 1 will have game number 2 following the conclusion here of this one and a short network break. That one is, I think, fouled off the foot of Pineo, and those hurt. At least it's not like 30 degrees outside because they really hurt, but that one right off the foot there.
Yes, they do hurt. And I've taken 2 baseballs back-to-back pitches one time when I was growing up, and that does not feel very good.
Talked a lot of smack in baseball, so I took more than back-to-back pitches a time or 2. I was a favorite target. Imagine that. 1-2 here to Pineo. Swung on and missed. Pulling the chain there. Georgia Crone get Pineo set down on strikes. That'll bring up Lauren Lee. Lee ground out to first base unassisted and a strikeout in her previous 2 attempts, so she's 0 for 2. One might say she's due. 353 hitter, 5 home runs on the campaign. This one skips in front of home plate, but it's going to be picked up right there, fired down, but bobbled by the shortstop, and that's going to be a stolen base there for Schneider. Boy, that one skipped in front of the plate, and I thought that was going to be chaos there for the catcher, Kane, but she's able to pick it up on a hop, but the shortstop, James, just bobbling it a little, and that gets the Broncos an advantage here with a runner in scoring position. Can Lauren Lee cash in? 1-0. Inside, ball 2. And Medeiros in the on-deck circle. Medeiros has reached twice for the Broncos, one by a single, one walk. So that pitch is on the outside corner, and that misses. 3-0 here for the 4-hole. I'd say on any other day, man, you'd be swinging on the 3-0 count, but the way the wind has played havoc today with these batters, you might as well just take a wide one, and she does. Low and inside. 4 straight balls to Lauren Lee. And that, now the 3rd walk issued so far here on the afternoon. Bringing up Anna Medeiros. With 2 on and 1 down here in the bottom of the 6th, the Broncos trying to cash in here against Briarcliff. Pitch on the inside corner, taken for a strike. Lexi Mudloff in the on-deck circle. Boy, would she love to see the bases loaded in that 6-hole. Again, was the cleanup hitter for the Broncos a year ago. Has moved down in the lineup, and a lot of pressure off Mudloff as this ball gets past the shortstop, and it's going to go in there to left field. Waving around here at the second base bag. Schneider sliding, and on the arm, we have an out. On the arm, the umpire says here at the home base bag. And so trying to wheel Lauren Schneider in from second base. He's gunned down there from the beautiful throw out and left from Jan. And there's going to be 2 down here for the Broncos, and another would-be rally. Seems to be flickering here after the single from Medeiros. Lexi Mudloff with runners at the corners and 2 down, needing to deliver a big 2-out knock here for HC.
I was going to say before that last at-bat, so this is your best opportunity right now to put a run or 2 across the board and just go into the 7th inning and just use your defense and come away with home a winner. But good play there.
See if we can't get a 2-out knock here from Mudloff as she tries to flare that one down. Oppo, and it rolls just past the foul line. Showing a little opposite field power there is Mudloff. Now 0-2, however. And can Georgia Crone work out of danger once again? She has stranded so far 4 Bronco base runners. And this would be an absolute gut punch. As Crone deals. Mudloff pops it straight up to center. Richter underneath it. Camps out. Calls off left fielder. And the side comes to a close. With 2 more runners left on board. A gun down from Richter. Gunning down Lauren Schneider, who was trying to score on a Medeiros single from second. The run cut down, and this game still scoreless as we head to the 7th. 0-0. Chargers and Broncos, GPAC season opener. And it's on here on Extreme Sports.
Need a power boost after a serious workout? Stick with the original recovery drink. Highland Dairy's chocolate milk contains 13 essential nutrients, including protein and electrolytes, helping you build muscle and hydrate better than water. Our Chocolicious milk is perfect for building healthy bones in little ones and maintaining bone health in adults. It's chocolate milk with no artificial growth hormones, and it's locally made, so you know you're getting the best for your body. Highland, locally made, naturally delicious.
Bored of the same old sports coverage? Get on the cutting edge of sports with Extreme Sports.
That ball hammered deep toward left into the well. That ball is gone.
The biggest plays, breaking news, and we can't forget the best sports talk.
Let's be great. Let's be great.
We are Extreme Sports.
We are Extreme Sports. Tyson Avronic, Marcus Metcalf with you. GPAC season opener here for Hastings College softball as they take on the Briarcliff Chargers. And we are just as we started here at the 4 o'clock contest, all scoreless as we head now to the 7th and final, maybe final frame here between these two squads. It's been quite the pitcher's duel between Kiera Brack and Georgia Crone. Kiera Brack with 7 strikeouts, and Georgia Crone, maybe more with related to Houdini somehow, has danced out of danger on 3 separate occasions, stranded 6 Hastings College base runners, and maybe the most important scoring opportunity came in that last frame, Marcus. We had 2 on with just 1 down and a single that went right up the middle. Ends up being a beautiful play from Richter to Kane, and they got the tag, and that was that just kind of sucked the air out of the rally.
Yes, it did, and I thought maybe he was going to hold it there because the wind was blowing in from left field, but Baker put on the go sign. Hopefully, he can get a run out of it. But good play, like you said, good play from Richter there to throw out at the plate.
Speaking of Riley Kane, the catcher who made the tag, she's at the plate here, and we'll ground out to start off the proceedings here in the 7th. We'll take that. So ground out to first, and that'll bring up Kayla Persisco. Persisco so far. Grounded out to third, and then hit a fly ball in foul territory that Lee made a nice play on. And so she's 0 for 2 as Brack goes to work. Brack's been dealing here for the Broncos today. 7 strikeouts like we mentioned, but needing to get some run support here from this Bronco offense, which looked really good away from home. And so far here in the friendly confines have not been able to find the run column. 3 hits for Briarcliff, 4 for HC. So far just 1 error in the contest as that pitch is in there for a strike, and now it's 1-2 count advantage here for Kiera Brack. Brack going to work. Crone awaiting in the on-deck circle. If Persisco can't get aboard, ball on the outside, 2-2. Seven strikeouts so far here in the afternoon for Brack. How about 8? No, inside. That'll load up the count full. 3-2, 1 down. We'll get better at this. When I call for stuff like that, we need to deliver. Makes me sound a heck of a lot smarter. Full count, 1 down. Here on the cleanup hitter for Briarcliff, who puts it towards the shortstop side, and that ball is going to be stopped right there from the shortstop to Nabi, but it's going to be an infield single for Persisco. Infield single there. 4th hit now for Briarcliff, and that'll bring up Crone, trying to help out her own cause. 4 hits apiece, no runs apiece. Persisco is off on the pitch. Throw down, not going to be in time. It's going to go wide and out to center field, but sliding on the play and unable to get back on a hop is going to be Persisco, but she does have a stolen base. So now a runner on in scoring position, and in a game that, quite frankly, other than the pitcher's duel, it looks like Hastings College has had the upper hand, just not been able to drive in the run, and now they're facing some adversity here in the top half of the 7th. With a runner on in scoring position. And 5 and 6 due up. Crone's shot, collision in the middle of the infield, players down. Was the ball held onto? I believe it was, but more importantly now, focus on the second baseman, Lexi Mudloff, was racing over, and the shortstop and her collide, both getting back up to their feet. And in a ball that was just floating out in no man's land, both shortstop and second baseman coming over it, and Mudloff is going to get a look here from the training staff. Heads over to the shortstop, to Nabi. So Nabi gives her the nod. I'm going to have a quick chat with Lex as well. And more impressively was the fact that that ball was caught with the collision. Always a scary moment on a play like that, but nonetheless, the ball ends up being caught for the second out. And so now that'll bring up Haley Yon as Mudloff shakes off the training staff and the coaching staff back to the dugout. Tough kids.
Yeah, but you don't know how big that out was, because you could have runners on first and second with one out, but now you're able to survive a collision, get an out. Now you have a runner on second with 2 outs, and all you need is one pitch to get yourself out of the inning.
Haley Yon has struck out twice, so we could take 3 pitches as well to get out of this frame. Back-to-back strikeouts for Haley Yon. Back-to-back strikeouts for Jalen Yankee, who awaits in the on-deck circle. Brack has had the number on this part of the order. Here's a slow roller shortstop side. Fielded by Tanabe. Can she get it over to Lee in time? Yes, indeed. 6-3 put out. Silences the Chargers here in the 7th. Broncos looking to walk it off. We're still scoreless here at Bill Smith Softball Complex. Chargers and Broncos. GPAC season opener. Bottom of the 7th when we come back.
Family Medical Center of Hastings is the place to go for all your healthcare needs. Their team is trained to treat the whole person regardless of age. They provide a wide range of medical care, including acute care, routine health screenings, and treatment of chronic conditions. They're dedicated to providing you with the best care in the most cost-effective manner. Family Medical Center, as an independent clinic, has served the community for over 65 years. Your family's home for healthcare. 1021 West 14th Street. Proud to support all area student athletes.
You're locked in to Extreme Sports.
Olivares now hits a line drive to deep left field. Ward is back to the wall. Granny time!
Here's Doncic wheeling inside in traffic and got it to go. Got it in the foul.
The home of 24/7 Sports Talk. Nothing but pure sports action.
Bottom of the order, 2 up here for the Broncos as HC tries to get something going here in the bottom of the 7th and tries to walk this baby off here against Briarcliff. All scoreless here as it's 7-8-9 due up. Caitlin Kapler starting things off. Kapler coming into this contest, the .306 batting average, has walked and has grounded out to third in her previous 2 attempts. And currently facing the 1-0 from Georgia Crone, who has gone toe-to-toe with Kiera Brack in this battle of aces here. Slow roller shortstop side. Trying to beat it out is going to be Kapler. Ball bobbled a little bit, but just squeezes just in time. 6-3 put out. Kapler showing some wheels there. Boy, if she could get on, that could be a dangerous weapon here for the Broncos on the offense. But Kapler unable to get aboard. And so that'll bring up Shay Storsund. Storsund, 229 batting average. And is sacrifice bunt in her first at-bat, and then a ground out to third. The left-handed batter looks in and takes the first pitch strike. Big time for the bottom of the order here for the Broncos. As we stay scoreless here. That pitch just nibbles on the outside corner. Boy, she has been Picasso-like in her approach to that outside corner today. Gets another one for an 0-2. Georgia Crone surrendered 4 rocks so far here in the contest. As this ball is hit towards the dugout. Makes the on-deck circle scatter a little bit. 4 walks issued, 6 runners left on board. There was an error by Briarcliff. She has surrendered 4 hits, but she has been able to, like Maverick and Goose, navigate out of the danger zone. Here's a ball hit down the second base side, and going to be flipped over in time. Nice grab there to retire Storsund. As that'll now bring up Nicole Halsey. I try to get a little 2-out rally going here for HC. On a windy day here at the Bill Smith Softball Complex. Pitch taken for a strike.
with Halsey with 2 groundouts in this game, now's the time to get on base and to flip it over to the top of your lineup and see if you can get anything offensively going and hopefully walk this thing off.
Lineup would flip after this. If not, it's bonus softball here at the Bill Smith Softball Complex. As that pitch misses upstairs for a ball.
I mean, why not extra softball here to start off conference season?
1 ball, 1 strike, 2 down. You clearly didn't make dinner reservations. JK, why not, right? Yeah. Pitch on the outside corner. In for a strike, it's 1-2. The 1-2 skips and jumps and in there for ball. And that'll bring the count to Deuces Wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Would love to see 2 on in this scenario, but Broncos just unable to break through on Georgia Crones thus far in the contest. Multiple opportunities with runners in scoring position. That one misses upstairs. Now it's 3-2. And just get something started. Just a base runner. Get to the top of the order. Try to keep this inning going. Here in the bottom of the 7th. It's a good at-bat here for Halsey as she was behind in the count early. And the pitch, Nicole, slow grounder, third base side. Going to be fielded by Kinder. Fired over to first in time. 5-3 put out. And we're having bonus softball here on Extreme Sports. We're going to 8. Still scoreless. It's a pitcher's duel here in the first game between these two. Chargers nothing, Broncos nothing. It's GPAC softball on Extreme Sports.
Bullseye Sports Bar and Grill has been serving Hastings and the surrounding area for more than 25 years, becoming more than just another bar and grill. It's a Hastings institution. Don't miss Wing Night every Wednesday, featuring legendary wings that are crispy, saucy, and downright delicious. Stop back on Thursday for roasted chicken. Fridays, enjoy the prime rib and seafood buffet. Then savor Bullseye's world-famous prime rib on Saturday. On Sundays, indulge in the brunch buffet from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. For over a quarter century, Bullseye's has been the go-to spot for good times, great food, and unforgettable memories. Visit Bullseye Sports Bar and Grill on West 2nd and Hastings, right across the street from the water park.
You're locked in to Extreme Sports.
Olivares now hits a line drive to deep left field. Ward is back to the wall. Granny time!
Here's Doncic wheeling inside in traffic and got it to go. Got it in the foul.
The home of 24/7 Sports Talk. Nothing but pure sports action.
Back here from the Bill Smith Softball Complex, and as we start off here, extra inning softball here in the 7 hole, it's a pinch hitter. And with more information on that, Marcus Metcalf.
Yeah, Sydney Ebel, she's coming in the game with a .333 batting average, 3 hit by pitches. She has 7 walks, 16 hits to go along. I said 4 walks already. So, yeah, pinch hitter. She's .333. She's one of the better hitters in this Briar Cliff lineup.
Ball popped up, third base side, can of corn as it's retired there from Paneo. So a immediate pop out there from Sydney Ebel coming out of the pinch hitting spot. And that should bring up Skylar Bainter, excuse me. Bainter so far with 1 hit, one of the 4 Briar Cliff hits, also struck out swinging. 1 down here as Kira Brack goes to work. Brack so far 7 strikeouts in the contest, as mentioned. He's had a really good time with the bottom of the order, but third time through the order, they were starting to get around on her a little bit, at least putting the ball in play. Not in terms of the hit category. So far, just 1 hit in the last 3 1/3 innings. So far from Briar Cliff as Brack works and swung on and missed. There was a BB right at the knees, right by her. A below body fastball. And that's strikeout number 8, and that'll bring up Britt Schultz to the plate.
Just pitcher's duel, man. She's been on fire with 8 strikeouts now in the contest. Could be make it 9 before this inning's over.
Ball right up. First pitch swinging. Catcher under it, but it's going to go just past the fencing here. Good communication there. That was always one thing that we needed to always work on in Legion Ball was communication on those fence balls. There was one time where it was like rolling with my third base battery mate, and he was like, you got room, you got room, you got room, you got room, and I slammed into the fence. He goes, fence. After the fact. I was always appreciative of that. So 0-1 here. Laying down the bunt now. And it's going to be thrown over to the second base bag, and Muffleff applies the tag. A little unconventional there as they get the out, but nonetheless, the bunt attempt unsuccessful, and the side retired in order here in the top half of the 8th. Let's go to the bottom half here. It is the top of the order due up here for the Broncos. Needing to get a run, needing to get a walk-off here in extras on opening day of the GPAC season, and you're listening to it here exclusively on Extreme Sports.
There's a new tomorrow on the other side of the horizon. There are houses to make into homes, businesses to be built, and friendships to enjoy.
Someday's gonna be one day soon.
Build your tomorrow with a bank you can rely on. Pinnacle Bank, the way banking should be.
Welcome back to Extreme Sports.
There we go, extra innings, bottom of the 8th now for Hastings College. Still scoreless. Kara Braxton on her part. Now can the offense cash in? Trying to get some run support here for HC, and it's the top of the order coming up. Isabel Tanabe reached by way of an error, flew out to left, and had a grounder straight back to the pitcher in her previous 3 attempts, 4th time through the order. Let's get something started here from the top of the order. Tanabe rolls around a bunt, lays one right down in front of the catcher, fires over in time. Richter to Persisco, and the would-be bunt attempt here to start things off. Playing a little small ball, and we've seen that now from Britt Schultz on Briarcliff, and then right away with Isabel Tanabe trying to give them a taste of their own medicine, but they can't convert. And the Broncos now get sent to bring Lauren Schneider to the plate, the left-handed hitter with 1 hit so far here in the contest. So 2-3 put out on the bunt attempt, bringing Lauren Schneider to the plate. She has hit into a sacrifice bunt. She grounded out to the catcher on a little slow roller and singled. So 1 for 2 so far here on the afternoon. And looks at a pitch on the outside corner for second strike.
I've noticed that last couple times each team has bunted, nothing's getting past almost the batter's box or the front of it's getting landed right there where the batters take their step when they take a swing.
Kane and Medeiros have done a phenomenal job at the catching spot so far here this afternoon. Getting out of the crouch and firing that one down. Nothing getting by. You got to get that a little bit further out if you're going to try to lay that one down. And that time, Isabel Tanabe not able to get enough on it. Schneider takes a look at a ball that just rolled across the plate. Needed to get the 4-iron out for that one. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Kaylee Pineo waiting in the on-deck circle. Had the ringing double out to the gap. So far, the best bit of contact that we've seen so far this afternoon. Schneider just tips it foul and will stay live. Georgia Crone looks in. Gets the sign and deals. And a fly ball left field side, camping out underneath it. It's going to be Haley Jan, and Jan retires Schneider for the second out here of the 8th. Kaylee Pineo now steps up. Pineo with the ringing double, as we mentioned, but also has struck out twice here in the contest. Little Jekyll and Hyde here this afternoon. Was Jekyll the good one or Hyde the good one? I can never remember.
I'm with you.
Okay. I thought you were the reader and not me.
Not really.
No balls, no strikes. 2 down here to Pineo. Bat ball's inside. Ball 1. Lauren Lee waiting in the on-deck circle. Lauren Lee leading the team in home runs so far this season, but with the winds blowing in. Slightly less now. I'd have to double check here now that we're into the 8th inning and past the 5 o'clock hour, but looking like they're dying down a little bit, at least in terms of what they were this afternoon. We no longer hear the on-field microphone howling with the wind, so that's been an upgrade, as it's 1-1 here to Kaylee Pineo. Pineo, as mentioned, was the designated position player here for the Broncos to start off the campaign, has since taken over third base back duties due to some injuries, as that pitch is upstairs for a ball. And now a hitter's count here to the 3-hitter.
So now's your time. Now's your time now. Get on base. Like I said, if any, get a couple base hits, maybe find a gap, and that's what maybe something that might spark this offense.
We'll need a 2-out rally to get there as Pineo chops this one, lines it right back up the middle. And that'll roll on into center field for a base knock. All right, you keep calling for the hits. I've been doing it all game long and have been unsuccessful. You got the magic touch. Now Lauren Lee's at the plate. Lauren Lee, again, a .353 hitter. Grounded out to first, struck out, and walked and got to third, as we are going to have a courtesy runner, I believe, here for Schneider. In fact, this will, nope, check that, that's Pineo. And so that will be at number 1. Okay.
Running over at first is number 11, Gracie Graff.
Gracie Graff now into pinch run at the first base bag. Lauren Lee try to rip one into the outfielder and get the wheels in motion. It'll be also interesting to see Marcus when Graff gets the green light here to try to steal a base to try to get into scoring position here with 2 outs. Not on the first pitch, as that one goes taken for a ball.
I would probably wait till you get the count in the hitter's favor, and so it's not a pitch out situation. So I think that's what Coach Baker might be trying to do.
1-0. Nice. And that one in there for a strike. A delayed straight call there from the umpire. It's 1-1. Lauren Lee trying to keep the Bronco 8th alive, and it's a line drive right to center field, but right at a running Richter, who makes the catch on the run. And so the 8th has come to a close with this baby still scoreless. Nobody breaking through in the run column. We're going 9. Top of the 9th. Chargers nothing. Broncos nothing. Extra innings softball here on Extreme Sports.
If you experience air conditioning problems this summer, call the experts at Ruts Heating and Air Conditioning of Hastings. Ruts is a local, family-owned business with over 45 years of experience in the HVAC industry. They service all makes and models of heating and cooling equipment for both residential and commercial customers. You can trust Ruts Heating and Air Conditioning to complete all repairs, installations, and maintenance work on time. If you're shopping for a new air conditioner or heating system, remember Ruts Heating and Air Conditioning. They have a broad range of systems to choose from. Ruts Heating and Air Conditioning. Call 402-463-4853.
Welcome back to Extreme Sports.
Well, the marathon game continues here as we head to the top half of the 9th, and no score to speak of. Still scoreless here in this pitcher's duel, which was scheduled for 7 and is now heading into the top half of the 9th. Briar Cliff and Hastings College just dealing right now. Kiera Brack with 8 strikeouts so far here in the contest as she'll get to the top of the order. Briar Cliff, meanwhile, Georgia Crone has got into some danger, has put some runners on in scoring position, but Hastings College is unable to break through the well, if you will. And this baby has still been held scoreless. 5 hits for the Broncos, 4 for the Chargers, 1 error on Briar Cliff as well. But all told, 7 left on base. As the ball goes to third base side and flipped over to first in time.
Yeah, I thought I was going to come back and roll back fair, but fortunate for them.
If it was a foul ball, okay, thank you.
Yes.
I was equally confused because you were giving me a confused look. Here's a ball, second base side. Mudloff spins, throws, and she got him in. No, ball gets dropped. It's going to be safe. The throw was in time, but the ball pops out of the glove of Lee, and that puts a runner on here for Briarcliff. Jessica James using the wheels to get down the line. And Mudloff with a extremely tough play to have to turn and fire. We're going to rule out an infield single as the ball pops out of James's glove. Nearly had it to squeeze there for the out, but in and out. No, it is going to be charged an error here on the scoreboard. E3 is what we'll call it. And I'll bring up Cadence Kinder now to the plate. Kinder with a sac bunt. 2 ground outs so far here. So the ball pops out of the glove. It was a tough throw on the spin from Mudloff, but it's a runner on for Briarcliff nonetheless. And now can Kira Brack continue to deal here. Bunt showing inside. They're going to throw back down to first, but nothing dealing there. That's 2-0. And Brack's got to get back to pounding the zone here. Infield playing in, expecting small ball here from Briarcliff as they try to put a runner into scoring position with the heart of the order coming up. Here's the pitch to Kinder. Kinder lays this one down. Third baseman races over in time. 5-3, and this time Jessica James plants at second. We go flashback to the first inning where Briarcliff was looking like they were going to be aggressive right out of the gates. Jessica James wheeling around second base on a sacrifice bunt attempt and ended up getting nabbed up and caught up in a 1-3-5 double play. So James staying put after the sac bunt there at second. And Riley Kane now coming to the plate. Kane so far with 1 hit here in the contest. And now a runner in scoring position is Briarcliff, threatening for the first time in a few innings. It's a 4-3 put out. James now over to third.
Yeah, I thought they were going to go to second there because she was kind of like jogging there at second base, James, and I thought they were going to throw it down there and get the lead runner, but they decided to go to the smart way and get the out at first.
Francisco has singled and has stolen a base. Has popped up to first and hit to third as Coach Williams now checking here with and discussing things with Kira Brack. And just mulling some things over here, Bronco coaching staff. Discussing how they're going to play this one here with 2 down and a runner over there at the third base bag. So Brack will head back to the circle. And it'll be Kayla Persisco heading into the plate with a runner over there at the third base side. Coach Theo Harris navigating the infield around. Would Briarcliff try some small ball here, we wonder? Boy, that would be a risky proposition. Ball inside, 1-0. 2 down and a runner at third here in the top half of the ninth. It's a slow roller right to Brack. Brack turns around, fires to Lee, and the threat subsides here in the ninth. Briarcliff gets one all the way over to third, but can't cash in. Runner left on here in extra innings as we go to the bottom of the ninth. Still scoreless here between the Chargers and Broncos. We're back after the break.
Sundays are meant for relaxation and indulgence, and there's no better place to do it than at Bullseye Sports Bar and Grill in Hastings. Enjoy the Sunday brunch buffet from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., featuring an irresistible spread of breakfast favorites that will make your taste buds dance. Choose from fluffy pancakes, sizzling bacon, fresh fruits, and so much more. It's all you can eat and everything you could ever want. Bullseye Sports Bar and Grill, located at 2017 West 2nd, across from the water park in Hastings.
Keep it here on Extreme Sports.
Hits it to right field. Brennan is back. He's at the wall, and we are tied.
Your all-access pass to nonstop sports talk and live play-by-play coverage.
You guys are the #1 sports station because you make the phones light up.
5, 6, and 7, 2 up here for the Hastings College Broncos. Tyson Vronick, Marcus Metcalf along for the ride. Extra inning softball here. Game 1 of 2. Here as we head to the bottom of the ninth. Still scoreless between the Broncos and Chargers. And in a downright pitching duel, Georgia Crone and Kiera Brack going blow for blow here. 1 ball, no strikes to Anna Medeiros. Medeiros with 2 base knocks in the contest for the Broncos. Broncos last inning, a Lauren Lee fly out to center with the runner stranded at first. It's a 2-0 here to Anna. Now make it 3-0. And here a big opportunity for HC. Anna Medeiros facing a 3-0, likely holding that bat on the shoulders. And that one takes a strike right across the plate. So now 3-1 hitters count. I think I said the wind was dying down. I just looked over at the flags over there, Marcus, on our right field side, and they appear to be picking up maybe a little bit of steam. So we'll check the weather report here. It's just going to be a ball on the inside. Medeiros is going to go ahead and round first anyways, but heads right back there to the first base bag. Another walk. And the 5th walk issued so far here this afternoon from Georgia Crone. Now to bring up Lexi Mudloff. And we have number 11 once again. That'll be Gracie Graff. Go ahead, Marcus.
Oh,
what do you see?
Yeah, it's like it's number 14 there for pinch running. Looks like it's gonna be Angie Lockhart.
Angie Lockhart.
I'm sorry, I didn't have my sheet in front of me, so it took me a minute there. Yeah, Angie Lockhart, the pinch runner there at first base.
Okay, Lockhart running now for Medeiros. Mudloff squaring away and missing the square, and going to be a strike. And on the attempted bunt play, moving the runner over, it's going to be gunned down. Gunned down there at second is going to be Lockhart trying to take the extra bag after the walk. Lexi Mudloff squared around to bunt and missed the bunt, and that spells trouble a lot of times. As indeed it did, and another beautiful throw from Kane. She has made a couple down to the second base bag today, so another base runner wiped off the board. Like you said earlier, Marcus can't run into outs. And that's what's happening here to the Broncos this afternoon. Grounder shortstop side, fielded over, 6-3 put out. Mudloff's 0 for 4 today. Caitlin Kapler now stepping in. Kapler walked and has 2 groundouts to her name, so an 0 for 2 day so far for Kapler.
Yeah, if they're able to get out of this inning here, we're going to be going to that new rule where you're going to have the runner at second base to start the top of the 10th.
Ugh, ghost runners. Don't get me started. Swung on and missed. Kapler down 0-1. Another conversation and an argument for another time, but I've never been a fan of the old ghost runner rule. However, with the second game looming and dinner reservations slowly fading away, I might be down for it tonight. 0-2 as this ball's fouled back and into the fence.
Here's an idea. You can put that as a poll question on Huddle Up every morning from Monday through Friday starting at 7 a.m. You can put that as a poll question.
There you go. Ghost runner rule, yay, nay. I'm old school. Here's the pitch outside, 1-2. Nevertheless, here in the bottom half of the ninth, Broncos trying to get a little 2-out magic started. Working behind the count here is Kapler. As Georgia continues to deal. This ball in the dirt, bringing up the count 2-2. Deuce is wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. A lot of zeros on that scoreboard. Broncos trying to crack it. Got the leadoff base runner. But then a missed bunt and a runner left stranded heading towards second. Has quickly put this inning on fast forward. Here it's a 3-2 with 2 down. Can Kapler somehow work a walk She was down on the count 1-2. Indeed. Loses her. Georgia Cohn allows Kapler to reach. And that'll bring up Storsund. All you need is a base runner to get some signs of life going here. We'll see if the Broncos can't get a 2-out magic started here in the ninth.
I hope so, because this is the last inning on my book here. I don't want to go to another page here to keep filling out my lineup card.
I've got 12, so we'll be okay. No balls, no strikes. Chop swing there from Storsund, excuse me, as she tries to go for the little slap hit. Doesn't connect, so it's 0-1. Storsund chops that one foul. That'll bring up the count to 0-2. An 0-2 here to the 8-hitter Storsund. Grounded out in 3 straight attempts. Well, technically 2. One was a sacrifice. So the 0-2. Up high. And that'll bring the count to 1-2. Again, game 2 coming up following a brief intermission where we'll take things back to the Extreme Sports Studios momentarily and then get all set to go for game number 2 tonight here from the Bill Smith Softball Complex. But still trying to find a winner here in this one. Approaching an hour, 45 minutes game time. And we're in the top of the ninth. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. That's what happens in a pitcher's duel. And Storsund now trying to work a walk after falling behind early. Looking for help here. No go. And after getting ahead 0-2, Georgia Crone has now fallen to a 3-2 count. And a little deja vu from the previous at-bat against Kapler where she got ahead in the count and lost her. And now it's Storsund trying to work a good at-bat. Pitch chopped towards the pitcher. Flipped and fired over to first in time. Briarcliff out of the inning. Another runner left on board for HC. That makes 8 total on the day for the Broncos. No runs. There was no hits. There was no errors and 1 left aboard as we go to the 10th. Still scoreless here from the Bill Smith Softball Complex. Great Plains Athletic Conference season opener. It's on Extreme Sports.
At Bosselman Energy Companies, we take pride in being a trusted partner to our customers, a strong presence in the communities we serve, and a family business that truly cares. Founded in Grand Island in 1948, Bosselman Energy has grown into a diverse group of companies with locations across the Midwest. We supply local communities with essential petroleum products that fuel farms, power industries, and heat homes. With over 70 years of industry experience, Bosselman Energy remains committed to the principles that have guided us from the beginning, ensuring our continued success for generations to come.
Keep it here on Extreme Sports.
Hits it to right field. Brennan is back. He's at the wall, and we are tied.
Your all-access pass to nonstop sports talk and live play-by-play coverage.
You guys are the #1 sports station because you make the phones light up.
So here we go, top half of the 10th inning, still scoreless here between the Broncos and the Chargers. Tyson Abronic, Marcus Metcalf with you here on Extreme Sports, part of the GPAC season opener as we get softball season underway here on Extreme Sports. 1 of 4 games that we'll have over the next 2 days. Ghost runner rule in effect. It's a bunt to start things off, and now the runner there gets too far off at third and nearly got nabbed for a double play. The runner, by the way, Kayla Persisco, who was the last out in the previous inning, goes up to run at second, so that brought up Georgia Crone, and then she hit the bunt to move Persisco over to third. The only reason I don't like the ghost runner rule, I mean, there's a lot of reasons, but one of the main reasons is it just makes a mess in my scorecard. Like, I haven't navigated here. It's like 1-3, and it just doesn't transition nicely to put her back on second base. I'll make the abbreviation ghost runner here as it's going to be a chopper down the shortstop side, and Briarcliff's going to get the first run of the ball game. Persisco coming around to score. a 6-3 put out from Yon, and just like that, that's how you play it. If you got the runner at second, move it over, and then just put the ball in play, good things happen, and the Briarcliff Chargers are on the board. Breaking the stalemate, Haley Yon drives in the run on the 6-3 put out, and that'll bring up, I believe, Sydney Ebel, who came in to pinch hit for Jalen Yankee earlier. And Ebel chops this one foul.
But no, that was a great play, though, by Tanabe there to keep the ball from going to the outfield and having another runner on base with no outs. And great play there by Tanabe, get the diving stop there and get the runner out at first base.
So Briarcliff has broken the deadlock here between the Broncos and Chargers. Scoring here in the top of the 10th, Ghost Runner rule aided run. 1 ball, 1 strike. This ball goes high. And Brack dealing on the outside corner, getting the call. That is where Georgia Crone has found a lot of success here this afternoon, is on that outside corner, and Brack extends the zone a little bit. Paints one beautifully on the black. Here's a swing put into shortstop side. That's going to get by Eberly and roll out into, get by Tanabe and roll out into the left field. And we'll score that baby a hit there for Sydney Ebel. So the inning continues here for Briarcliff as Skylar Bainter now steps up to the plate.
Number 24, Kylie Wilhelms.
Check that. That's Kylie Wilhelms. A pinch hitter now, 34 and 24, playing tricks on the eyes.
Yeah, Wilhelms, she's 206 batting average with 7 hits, including a double, and 3 home runs and 7 RBIs on the season. She has 4 walks. She has 2 hit by pitches, but she struck out 14 times.
How about number 15 here to get out of the frame for the Broncos? So far, 1 run on the board after the runner Prosesco was sack bunted over to third from Crone and then drove in from Haley Yon to put the Chargers on the board just like you draw it up. 1 ball, 1 strike. So Briarcliff playing a little small ball to manufacture the first run here of the contest here in the top half of the 10th. 2-1. Here as Kira Brack goes to work. Trying to battle on the pinch hitter Wilhelms. Shortstop side, flip to second base in time. And a 6-4 put out gets the Broncos out of the 10th, but not before Briarcliff strikes for the first run. A 1-0 lead here for the Chargers as the Broncos come for their turn in the 10th, where they will put Caitlin Kapler on a board at second to start things off with the bottom of the order. 8, 9, and 1 due up here for HC. It's extra inning softball. It's the Chargers with the 1-run lead. Can the Broncos come back here in the bottom half? We'll find out next on Extreme Sports.
Keep it here on Extreme Sports.
Hits it to right field. Brennan is back. He's at the wall, and we are tied.
Your all-access pass to nonstop sports talk and live play-by-play coverage.
You guys are the #1 sports station because you make the phones light up.
All right, welcome back to softball action here at the Bill Smith Softball Complex. It is Shea Storsund at second base. She was the last out in the 9th, and so that'll bring up Nicole Halsey here with the runner on in scoring position. Tanabe and Schneider all due up here for HC. And Halsey squaring around to bunt, trying to get things manufactured just like Briarcliff did in the top half of the 10th. And this just a game now of fundamental softball right now, Marcus. Briarcliff did their duty in the top half of the 10th. Can Hastings College do the same? It's 1 strike here on Halsey, who's going to be squaring around to bunt.
Yep, small ball, small ball, small ball.
Bunt. Right, drops in front of the first base side. Halsey runs down to first, beautifully executed. Runner moves over to third.
And that is exactly what Halsey needed to do. Just get the runner, just get the bunt down. You know that Shea was going to get over there to third, so that was perfectly done there by Nicole, and that brings up the top of the order with Tanabe.
Tanabe now due up here for the Broncos. Storsund over at third base. This is where the Broncos have to cash in here. They have been held at third base on 3 different occasions here in the contest. They have 8 runners left on base so far here in the ball game and 5 hits. And now staring down trailing 1-0 here to Briar Cliff. Got to find a way to get this run in. It's a 1-0. Here's the pitch from Georgia. Second base side. That one's going to go in for a hit, and the Broncos are tied right back up. Right back into the ball game. We go 9 innings of scoreless softball. And just like that, with the runner on at second, Tanabe with the drive in and the RBI single to get the Broncos knotted back up. But more importantly now, Marcus, they can do some damage here with just 1 down.
Absolutely. And then now the question is Coach Baker going to let Schneider bunt too? And it looks like that's going to be a no as she takes the first ball outside.
Question is, will Tanabe try to steal a bag, swipe an extra bag, just like she did back in the first frame? She's got the wheels. We've seen her do it, but we've also seen Kane extremely good here from the backstop spot. She has got a couple would-be Bronco base stealers so far here, albeit on some blown hit-and-run opportunities for the Broncos. So 2-0, and the chess match starts now here for Troy Baker and the Hastings College Broncos. Georgia Crone also missing wide, and there's the stolen base from Tanabe. And I was just about to mention, Marcus, Georgia Crone has not looked like she was in the first few frames. She's starting to come a little bit loose with the command. I think the wear and tear here of this 10-inning affair starting to show, and now it's a 3-0. And that one's in there for a strike. Red light all the way for Lauren Schneider. Tanabe now in scoring position, so a base hit should score the run from second, although we've seen that backfire here this afternoon. Pitch outside, taken for a ball, and Georgia wants to know where that one missed.
Yeah, that looked like that was a better pitch than the previous one, and it just didn't get the benefit of the call. But now he brings up your 3-hole hitter who's had a double already on the day, and so I believe 2 hits, got a single and a double, and so perfect timing here for HC if you want to walk off this thing.
Kaylee Pineo swinging a hot bat here at the 3-hole position for the Broncos, playing the hot corner, and an opportunity to walk off the Broncos with the winning run aboard at second base.
And if you're Tanabe, I'd be careful not to get too big of a lead because what we've seen before, she can throw down anybody at second base. So I'd be careful if I was Tanabe not to get too big of a lead and not run yourself out and get yourself a second out.
1-0 count now. Pitch inside. And that'll bring the count to 2-0. And now the infield coming in here as there's going to be a meeting in the circle to see how they're going to play this. It's a 2-0 count. And I almost wonder if they're going to pitch around, Marcus, if they're going to pitch around Pineo to make a force at any bag. A risky proposition, but a ground ball then induces a double play. I guess a ground ball induces a double play here with first and second, too. So disregard that entire thought process. That was horrible baseball coaching. That's probably why my team's won 4 games.
Well, I mean, you can. If you can go that way, you can load the bases and then you get yourself at any base, but I wouldn't.
Sure. No, it was just a meeting in the circle, and my wheels were spinning, and they spun the wrong way, that's for sure. So here we go, 2-0 count. Pineo at the plate. Needing to find some outfield grass here for the Broncos. Fires that one towards the dugout. That'll bring up the count to 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 down.
But going back onto your point, I don't think HC would mind if they had the bases loaded with 1 out.
I wouldn't mind it either. That was thinking with your heart. Should be 2-2 here, I believe. Correct? No, 2-1?
It should be 2-1.
2-1, okay, thank you. As Georgia Crone looks in, takes one upstairs, now 3-1 again. Command issues starting to become a factor here for Georgia Crone, who has been dialed in Noticed a little bit of that in the ninth inning when she had count control and then lost to a couple hitters. And now is staring down a 3-1 here with a 3-hitter. Very dangerous hitter at the plate. And she watches one, and it'll be ball 4. Ball 4 now, the bases are loaded. So whether they listen to my wacky strategy or not, the bases are loaded here for the Broncos with the cleanup hitter at the plate. Who better but Lauren Lee, 353 batter, 5 home runs, 18 RBIs on the season, looking for number 19. Pay a bill, kid. Pop fly out in the outfield. Something. Gotta find a way to manufacture this baby.
Gosh, with this wind blowing it, I don't know if a pop fly to the outfield is going to benefit you or not the way it's coming in. Yeah, but we'll find out. I think, how about a ground ball to the outfield? That'll work just fine.
Or just a line drive right in the gap. What do you say,
work.
Lauren?
Or even a pass ball.
No deal in there. Nobody on the run. Ball does get by the catcher, but nobody's ready to make that risk just yet. Lauren trying to find a spot in the Briarcliff defense. Here in a 1-1 deadlock in the bottom half of the 10th inning here in game number 1. Now, we still got game number 2 coming up here between the Broncos and Chargers. Infield starting to creep in. They'll cut 4 on any ball into the infield. This ball is on the infield through the shortstop side, and the Broncos are going to walk it off. Lauren Lee delivers the RBI single. It's a walk-off winner for the Broncos here in the Great Plains Athletic Conference season opener. Isabel Tanabe comes across to score. She got the single, got the stolen base, and scores the run off the bat of Lauren Lee. RBI walk-off single here in game number 1. Broncos win it 2-1 and execute perfectly in the 10th inning.
Get myself the crystal ball back out again. Got a base hit to the left field, and that was all you needed. That's all you need.
Just a rock shot through the shortstop as Jessica James unable to get through it. The Broncos get through a wild one here against Briarcliff. Boy, an escape here in game number 1. And in a game where really I felt they were in control throughout. I mean, 8 runners left on board. They constantly had at least some action on the base paths, but until the 10th, were unable to break through here in this first. And finally they do for the walk-off 2-1 winner. Again, it is Lauren Lee with the RBI single. She's the hero. Isabel Tanabe with a great game as well. 2 stolen bases, 1 run scored. Nicole Halsey with the executed sac bunt to put Storsund in position to score. And then it was Tanabe with the RBI single and stolen base, and she later came around to score after the RBI single from Lauren Lee. Broncos win it 2-1 in 10. All the scoring happening here in the 10th. All told, 2 runs, 7 hits for the Broncos. They committed 1 error. For Briarcliff, it was 1 run, 5 hits, and 1 error as Game 1 has come to a close. Game 2 coming up here shortly from the Bill Smith Softball Complex. We'll take a quick break, get you back out to some regularly scheduled programming, and get you all set for the second contest, Broncos and Chargers, coming your way shortly here on Extreme Sports.
You've been listening to Hastings College Softball. Stay tuned. The second half of the doubleheader is coming up soon on your exclusive home for Broncos sports, Extreme Sports.
And I could have had 2. Hopefully that doesn't come back to haunt me. But like you said, we're right back where we started. Tie game with 10 minutes to go.